At this place in history, we're at Waterfront Park in Burlington with Steve Perkins, the executive director of the Vermont Historical Society. Steve, something that briefly took place here and very near here brings us here this week.
Absolutely, Mike. We're talking about Winter Carnival, the Winter Carnival of the 1880s here in Burlington, when the lake was frozen and snow everywhere.
And I understand that this particular celebration drew some inspiration from a little ways to the north.
Yeah, Montreal, definitely. So in the 1880s, Montreal created Winter Carnival, and it was meant to celebrate like Canadian sport, or more specifically Quebecois sport. However, we get to 1885, and there was a smallpox outbreak in Montreal, and so they ended up canceling the 1886 Winter Carnival because of this smallpox outbreak. Now, the city leaders here in Burlington were like, yes! Everyone from northern Vermont was heading up to Montreal. We can get all these people to come down here. Now, probably not really thinking about how diseases spread, but anyway, Burlington said, since Montreal's not doing it, we'll do it.
How might have an event that got its inspiration from Montreal maybe played out a little bit differently here?
Sure, we didn't have the big, huge ice palaces that they created in Montreal, but other than that, we really kind of followed, at a slightly smaller scale, a lot of the same things. So it was sponsored by the Burlington Coasting Club. And so coasting clubs were groups of mostly gentlemen who rode on things called traverse sleds, and you went down these constructed tracks at high rates of speed. Like a bobsled. And in fact, many historians think the Traverse or the coasting clubs were the precursor to the bobsled. And so they would create these big, huge chutes. And then in Burlington, if you can imagine, chutes starting up at UVM and coming down College Street and ending here at the waterfront. And they had coasting races. People could just choose to come out and pay their money and ride on toboggan runs. They lit them up at night, so they'd be big parties. But on the ice out here, they had trotting races. That was a Vermont thing. That didn't happen in Canada. But they had figure skating. They had ice hockey competitions. In fact, we think probably the very first international hockey competition happened right here in Burlington during that 1886 competition. There was ice boat races on the lake. So huge festival. I mean, it looked like a lot of fun.
As exciting as this was, it was very short-lived. So why would that have been?
No more smallpox in Montreal. And so Montreal brought their festival back in 1887. Burlington tried again in 1887, but it just didn't get the same level of interest. We just did it for 2 years here in Burlington, 1886, 87. Interestingly, Montreal ended up, it petered out there too by the end of the decade. Now, of course, one of the most famous winter festivals in the world is now in Quebec City, which is the same thing, celebrating all things Quebecois.
All of you, I imagine, would be a good resource to come to for anyone that might want to learn more about the 2 years this festival took place?
Yeah, absolutely. Come visit us at the Vermont History Center in Barrie, and we've got some great primary source documents about it. We do have some articles and pieces on our website and on our special website, Vermont History Explorer, which is for youth. There's a whole unit on it.
A winter carnival put on ice after just 2 years at this place in history.